I'm a 33-year-old Korean single female doctor, and I just saw my fertility doctor to take a look at my follicles and freeze my eggs. I had a consult appointment about a couple of weeks ago, and then also just had an ultrasound to take a look at my follicle number, got my blood drawn for hormone levels. And I actually did this about 2 years ago to see where I was and whether or not if my fertility had declined earlier than others. And for Asian women, on average, our fertility declines earlier. We really don't talk about this. And on top of that, when Asian women do get pregnant, there's higher rates of gestational diabetes. And being a doctor, we're in residency and fellowship minimum of 3 years. And then you add med school and everything on top of it, it's like 12 years minimum. And then we're so busy, we just like don't think about it, right? We just delay and delay and delay. And a lot of us even put relationships on hold. And that's what happened with me. I prioritized my career. I moved every 3-4 years, and I always knew I was going to freeze my eggs at some point. And I know how much of a huge financial privilege it is to freeze my eggs. And as a resident, it felt impossible, and that's partly the reason why I waited until now as an attending and saved enough money to be able to freeze my eggs. And let's be real, it's about 10K to 20K, sometimes more, to freeze your eggs just one round. And some people do multiple rounds. As much as we want to believe that women can do it all, yes, we can do it all, but sometimes just not all at the same time. And we have to really be realistic about that. And yes, I may never use my eggs, but I also don't want to not have options down the road. And not every residency fellowship program is supportive of you being pregnant during the program. And not only that, it takes such a physical, emotional toll on your body. There are some hospitals that offer fertility benefits like IVF, but a lot of them don't offer freezing egg benefits. I actually even asked when I was looking for attending jobs about freezing egg benefits, and they said that nobody else has asked them this before. Tech companies do it, like why can't medicine and hospitals do it? Anyways, turns out I have about average number of follicles on each ovary, but I'm still waiting to hear back from the blood draw I did for my hormones. Now I'm planning to do it probably in the next couple months, hopefully.
This is the issue where I believe women and society as a whole are lying to other women. You can't have it all. And in most cases, let's say 90% of the time or 90% of the population, women can't even have it all at different times because they don't make sense. You can't have an amazing career, amazing husband, amazing marriage, and raise good kids. It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely because each thing requires time and effort. I think this is the fallacy of modern women, where they think they could spend the time to focus on their career, wait until, what was she, 33? And then maybe at 35, focus on a husband. Okay, and then what is it? Let's say 33, 34, focus on a husband. 35, focus on having kids. It's like you're deluded. You're deluded in thinking that things will happen when you want it to happen. And things will happen just fine how you want it. You could probably find a husband, which also takes time and effort. But then you're at even a later age to have children. Now, she said the part about having money for, IVF, freezing eggs, stuff like that. But then it's cost money and it's taxing. Those things are not 100%. They are actually, I hear they are under 50% chance probability of it. So they're very low. Under. I'm giving 50 as a high, a margin, a big margin of error because I'm not thorough in that research. But it's very, very hard for, the IVF, egg freezing to actually stick. Women lie to other women. You have to be realistic in your approach to life. You have to pick. What do you want in life? You want a career? Great. All the best to you. Stick with it. Make the best career you can. Be the richest, nicest auntie to whatever kids that are in your life. You want a husband? Focus on it. Don't focus on your career. Focus on the best marriage you can have. Focus on your husband's happiness. Focus on the health of your relationship. You want kids with your husband? Focus on your family. Focusing on raising good kids, good, stable kids, good, future productive adults. We lie to women and say that they can have it all. And how she says they can't have it all at different times. It's ridiculous. Can't have it all. So what do you think? So you're going to have a great career and then you're going to stop it to now focus on a husband and then what? Hold that a little bit back because now at a later age, you can't spend the time to completely establish a great relationship and then focus now on kids. That's a recipe for disaster because you didn't spend enough time with a husband, with a partner to establish a strong base for a relationship with a partner. Now you want to move on to having kids because you're rushing it. You're on a time clock. You're on a time crunch. You have to get things done quickly as possible. That's the problem with women. They do not see time as a factor, as a deterrent to life. They don't, especially when you're young. Especially women that are in their 20s. They never see time as a factor in their life. They're not scared of it. They don't worry about it. And yet, when they hit 35, close to 40, then it's like, oh my God, things got to be in a rush. You do not put the same effort in nothing. You pick and choose. Oh, let me put the effort in this one. And then later think about, oh, it's going to be less effort in the other ones. Because that's the problem. You cannot have it all. Nothing in life is perfect. Even the outer image of some people who you think is perfect, having a marriage, having a career, having a family, it is not. It's rare. It's in the under 5, maybe 1% that you can have supposedly it all. But I even think there are cracks in those. So for women to believe in perfection is a fallacy. And even if you don't think you believe in perfection, you are. You are. When you do certain things, like I said with this woman, waiting, focusing on her career, and then waiting on when she'll think that, okay, when I'm 34, I'm gonna have a good husband. What? Or what? When you're 35, waiting. Relationships just don't happen when you want it to happen. Okay? And children don't happen for someone who gets older when you want it to happen. This is the fallacy that we're having in modern society, and women lying to other women.
I'm sitting here with just this horrible realization. I have spent most of my days figuring out how I can become physically, mentally, financially, spiritually healthy enough to be able to afford and take care of a child. And not only have I taken that time, but I've done the math, and it does not work out. I am not young enough, or fertile enough, or financially stable enough to even do another round of IVF. And at 36, I'm sorry, you're gonna say, you have time. I don't. Because I can't spend another minute of my life trying to make something work when I'm just fighting upstream. I don't have a support system. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources or the community. And it just kills me. It kills me that I had embryos with my ex-husband that were viable, and they're just gone now. And my future with those children and my life as a mother is just, it's gone. And it's not just that it's gone, it's the fact that it was decided for me by so many other people and factors. And that's what kills me, because it was not my choice. And I'm angry. And I'm heartbroken.
Honestly, yeah, it is that hard. I almost never see a man out in the wild and initially find him hot. It's a big part of why we don't approach you guys and initiate. It's also why whenever men show me a picture of their love interest, they're like, here's what she looks like. And every woman that's ever shown me a picture of a potential love interest has said, he looks way better in real life. If you just really listen to us and try to understand us, you're going to notice that everything is making perfect sense and it's all going to start clicking.
I always think it's funny that women always argue the statistics and the facts that men in the manosphere talk. Men always say that women find 80% or more men unattractive. You wonder why women go for 20% of men. So women do go for the top percent of men or find them attractive. Women like this, they argue it until they're blue in the face, but they also say things that will pretty much back up that claim. Women do go for top percent of men, or they are attracted to the top percent of men. The tallest, the most chiseled chin, the most whatever you could be attracted to. But the men that you're attracted to, most likely, most women are also attracted to. So what does that say? Women are mostly attracted to the top percent of men. Men that attract a good percent of women. And what do you say? Women are not attracted to most men. No duh. That's obvious. And that's why women go for the Chads and Tyrones. And that's why women technically are sharing men. Because the men that they go for, other women, many women also go for.
Women are failing men. Ladies, the reason that no man is approaching you is because of you, not them. I did the dirty work and asked men why they were afraid to talk to you and got over 5,000 responses. And there was definitely a common theme. Let's read some. I would say fear of rejection and being humiliated in front of everyone.
A male approached me in a parking lot. He's, excuse me, miss, and I don't know why in the hell he was approaching me or what he was trying to do. And before he was probably 30 feet from me when he said, excuse me, ma'am. And I turned around and I literally yelled at him and I said, do not approach me. And he immediately started going in the other direction. And I just kept saying it over and over and over. I said, do not approach me. Do not approach me.
Current culture feels like I will be perceived as a creep for talking to a girl I don't know. Mostly
there, hoping that you will strike up a conversation. She's busy. And as much as you refuse to admit it, it's creepy.
fear of rejection, like I'm bothering them somehow.
I still think that the best option for everyone involved is that we take the path of least potential damage to another human being. And in this case, that would be that we don't approach women alone.
Stop approaching women altogether if this is what they want.
Yes. This is what we want. Please leave us alone.
Stop focusing on dating. Focus on money. You are poor. You are poor. You are broken poor. The only chase you should be texting is the make. Focus on how you're going to make money and how you're going to be happy doing that. You want to find the love of your life? Money will make that easier.
I want to say that this creator is 100% true. Both men and women refuse to acknowledge this point that women like money. Women like the idea of money. Women like the lifestyle that money brings. Women likes the comfort that money brings. They may say that, oh, I don't want a man for money, but I want a man that's ambitious. Which is what? Why would you want a man that's ambitious? That he will eventually make more money. I want to live a certain lifestyle. Why? What's that mean? For him to make more money. I want a man that makes more money than me or equal to me. Most likely more money than me. Women will always say these other words and not blatantly say that I want a man that makes more money. I want a man that makes a lot of money. And there are certain men that always say that, oh, money's not important. No, you're stupid. That's foolish. Now, money's not the end all to be all, right? You gotta need charm. You gotta need looks. You gotta need more than just money. But money is always the top of importance, at least long term for a woman. That's the key. If she wants you to be with you long term, money is probably the most important part. But, getting with you, fling, short term dates, it's other stuff. But money is the most important thing. That's why don't be fooled by all these side talking points that not get too straight to the point. Money is one of the top factors. Like I said, charm and other stuff is important, but you being broke or you making not to her standards will always hurt you. And that's the reality that men face, and that a lot of men and most women don't like to really blatantly say. And I think men should know that that's the case, so they know how to act.
Women our age are more likely to be in relationships than men, which makes you think, who is everybody dating at the end of the day? If the women aren't dating the men, then...
What crosses my mind is I think there's perhaps two explanations. One, women in that age group are dating older men, 30 to 40. But I think the bigger thing is that women are maybe think they're in a relationships or are in a relationship, and they're sharing higher quality guys. So, and there's this concept called hypergamy. Women are all chasing after the top tier of men. So a lot of women are happier sharing a top tier guy than settling for a guy that's actually on their level.
Loyalty and faithfulness are at an all-time low, and cheating is at an all-time high, and we wonder why, when we have all these apps that we have instant accessibility to other people and to attention that other people give us, when we're not happy with our relationship. Instead of talking to that person, you drift off to someone who gives you attention. You see the highlight reel of their life, and you assume they're better than the person you're with because you see the best parts of them instead of actually knowing the inside. Because I'll tell you what, if you get with someone else, you think the grass is greener on the other side, most likely you'll run into the same problems you had with the person that you were just in a relationship with. Because relationships aren't peaches and cream all the time. They're not easy. They take work, they take communication, they take working with someone else outside of yourself and not being selfish all the time. But nobody has the discipline to stay connected with somebody long enough to make it work. We always want instant gratification, so we're seeking attention elsewhere because we don't have the patience with someone else. That's the problem, not these apps. It's people.
You guys want to know some game? Your man really cares about you when he puts boundaries on you.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't want you dressed like that. Yo, you know what? I don't really like these pictures on Instagram.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what? I don't want you dressed like this without my presence. No, you ain't going out to the club with them girls. Once a man starts to put boundaries on you, he gives a about you. If he says, "Oh no, do your thing, blah blah blah, let's do an open relationship," all this other shit, he don't give a about you.
She don't care.
And the reason why
That's true.
is because men are visual. If I know, or I can even think that you're with another guy, I'm never gonna look at you the same. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you slut." Okay. And this is how men really think. We're visual. We can't picture. We don't. Even if we know that you used to do some shit before, we don't want to know. Because if we know, we can't take you serious. That little fantasy in our head gets destroyed, and that's it. That's why guys do all this shit. You might say it's insecure, it's controlling, blah blah blah. No, it's controlling you from being a dumb whore and ruining the relationship that we're building together, because I see you as the mother of my children. I see you as my potential girl. That's why I'm putting these boundaries on you, because I don't want to destroy what we have.